All right, we're here, and we are going to take a look at the Celtics' two second-round picks in this year's draft. Kentucky center Amari Williams and VCU guard Max Shulga. We'll take a look at both. We looked at Amari Williams right after they drafted him, but we can give a little bit further thoughts now that we're a bit more removed and aren't frantically working right afterwards. But we'll take a look at what they can bring to the table in Boston.
We decided to match today too. Navy Blue Boys. Here we are. Yeah, Amari Williams is definitely a more intriguing prospect than I think we initially gave him credit for on the pod or the emergency video yesterday, because a lot of the intrigue that comes along with him is that, yes, in fact, he is an NBA ready body who can compete with big men in the NBA physically and not get like just pushed out of the way every single time. But he has really good vision, according to all the people that are really familiar with him. And I think that's the type of thing that will separate him from somebody like Nemi, who, albeit, does have some similarities because Williams isn't the greatest finisher around the rim, as we discussed the other day. But at the same time, he's still young, has room to grow. Probably don't want him playing a ton of minutes in his first season. Like, you kind of want him to redshirt for a year, is my guess. At least that would be the goal. Who knows what the roster is going to look like and whether or not it will allow for that. And maybe getting his feet wet will be good too. But I just think of like the disciplinary issues on the court that people have highlighted in pre-draft previews for Amari Williams really kind of point to a similar trajectory to somebody like Robert Williams, who had to kind of learn to be patient underneath, and that his athleticism wouldn't quite separate him or make him dominate in the NBA like he was able to in college. Like, it was more about timing, more about not biting on pump fakes, not getting in foul trouble. Because at Kentucky last year, he averaged, what, 2.4 fouls a game? So that
2.2.
2.2.
Yes.
Okay. Closer. Yeah, it's not as bad. But, like, if he can get that under control, you're seeing, like, all the highlights here. Like, he's an exciting prospect. There's no getting around it. Like, he's a high flyer. He can block shots. He's got a good wingspan. He's somebody that is, again, known for playmaking. So the more we learn about him, I'm sure Summer League will be fun, too. The more I think fans will like him.
Yeah, I don't think the Nemi comp is fair. I think Amari Williams is a better passer than Nemi Ishiketa is currently.
Correct.
Like, I think Amari Williams is a better passer at Drexel than Nemi Ishiketa is right now. That's just not part of Nemi's game, really. I mean, how many times have we said, Nemi, just please God, make the extra
Kick it
pass
out.
instead of
Kick it
putting up?
out.
Yeah.
Kick it out.
So I think Amari Williams can step in that regard. I think spending a lot of time in Maine this season will be a huge help for Amari Williams as well. They didn't really have like a center in Maine a lot of last year. They had James Banks, and then past that, it was kind of like playing small ball with Tristan and Aruna and other guys. So having an actual big body will be interesting from that perspective. And I mean, this guy's just an elite passer. Like having bigs with as much vision as Amari Williams has, with what would have been the second longest wingspan in the draft behind Kaman Malawach, which I think, I don't know if Amari Williams had his draft excuse me, measurements taken at the combine. I don't know if he was at the combine. Let me double check. But Amari Williams, yeah, he wasn't even at the combine, so we just don't know what his exact measurements are. But his passing vision with his wingspan, with like, you can 100% understand why the Celtics drafted him and like his skill set. He should not be taking those jump shots
That's a
in Boston.
bucket right there.
But like the body type, the passing, like that's just such a good foundation to start with. I don't know if he'll play a lot in Boston. I still think the Celtics are going to bring in guys who are more NBA ready to play those minutes, whether that's re-signing Cornette and Horford or signing guys in free agency or whatever the case may be. Like Joe would probably play Cato over him just because he trusts Cato more because of the familiarity levels anyways. So there's just like a level of trust he's going to have to establish for himself. But I mean, like you see right here, he was running transition point guard for Kentucky. So with his body, with his mass, his height, wingspan, to be able to handle the ball and pass it as well as he does opens up a ton of stuff for you in the pick and roll.
That was one of the things that people were hyping up last night, was that he can like grab and go and transition. Like, he's a good break starter because he's not afraid to just put the ball on the floor and then zing the ball to whoever's wide open on the break with him. So that'll be an exciting thing to monitor up in Maine this year. And just now you got me thinking about Maine a little bit. When Maine did have good centers in Kyler Kelly and also Nemi when they were two-waying him, swinging him up there every once in a while, they went to the G League final and they competed very well. They were a hoss of a team. So maybe the people of Portland will have a lot to look forward to this year. I
Well,
think
they
that's the
also
right
had
destination for
they
him,
also had
right?
JD Davison and Jordan Walsh and like NBA players on the roster outside of it, but I understand. Like you're right
Let's see.
to a
So
degree.
JD won't be back this year because he's
Yeah,
converted, right?
and Jordan won't be there again this year. He wasn't even there this year. He played one game all
Okay.
season. I don't know if Baylor will spend much time in Maine this season. You don't really know what's going to happen with the two ways because Mike Sarin said last night that these guys will probably get the two ways. So where does that leave Peterson and or Miles Norris? So Maine's going to look a lot different. I'm not saying Maine can't be good, but I don't know. Like it's not like they're just plugging him into the Just roll with the same roster. Um,
Yeah, I mean
let's
those
see.
guys. That's how the G League kind of goes too. It moves
Yeah,
around. It's not like you're building a dynasty on purpose.
we'll see. I like Amari Williams a lot, though. I'm very intrigued by him as a prospect. The body type, the length, the passing. Um, you can definitely see the outline of an impressive player if he puts it all together. Especially next to guys who are already super good at handling the ball, etc.
It's too
Like
bad
Jalen,
that
Derek, Peyton, etc.
we don't have the combine physicals for Amari Williams because I think that would be pretty interesting to see like what his vertical is because he looks like a freak athlete and he looks like we know roughly what his wingspan is supposed to be. Let me see. I'm trying to find it in the draft guide here.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
He
7'6". I think his wingspan is supposed to be 7'6".
yeah, seven. No ceilings has it at 7'5", but still substantial. 5 inches on top of what his height is. Um, yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely
he was at
is.
the G League Combine. Um,
Okay,
so he didn't get the invite to the top. And other like solid players were there too. Like Yannick Conan Niederhauser was G League Combine guy. Ryan Nemhard, Caleb Love. Like it was just some of the guys who maybe weren't guaranteed to be first round or second round picks. Amari Williams at the combine in the games. Uh, it was like he had 4 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists in one of the games. He had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in another one of the games. He had 7 turnovers though, which is not ideal. But I don't see. I don't think we get stats from the G League Combine.
the biggest thing I'll say about Amari Williams is like in terms of room for improvement, you definitely need to see him become a better finisher on non-dunks because in college he was not. Like we're seeing the tape of him create shots like on spin post moves and all of that, and none of it looks very pretty. But he has the athleticism to get out in transition and also dunk in traffic. So if he's going to be a catch and finish guy in Boston, like something like that, he could do in the NBA. Being a role man,
I
being
saw some
comfortable in the
okay
role.
finishes. I saw some okay finishes in here. There was one in transition that looked pretty good. I don't think it's completely like this one. Or no, there was one where he was like running and had a nice little layup at the rim. We'll see. I think maybe it was
He
this
only
one.
shot 58.5% at the rim in
No,
college.
he's not. He's not an efficient scorer at the rim, but I'm just saying, like, you can see the outline for him to be okay. He's finishing through contact in a couple of these. So, I mean, if they can just put him into spots where he's only taking uncontested looks and getting himself open, then I think they'll be all right. But look at Max Shulga too. VCU guard spent some time at Utah State first before transferring to VCU. Was teammates with Nemi. Mike Zarin last night said that when they were in town, he and Nemi got dinner, caught up, etc. From their time playing together, but hard nose guard, plays super hard, solid shooter, not like elite shooter, but a good 3-point shooter, volume shooter. Does a little bit of everything, handles the ball, can pass it, can rebound. Bigger, bulkier body, I think 6'4", like stocky. So just kind of a do-it-all type of guard for the Celtics at 57, and Amari Williams is 46 to round it out.
So this is the first time we got to talk about this on this channel, but we did touch on Shulga last night on our cameo on the First of the Floor channel. Shout out to Jake for having us. He excites me. We see all sorts of this type of player get drafted late in the draft, and granted, there's a reason why you can't guarantee they'll be good players and why they get picked in the 50s or undrafted. But OKC has like 4 of these type of guys on their team that they got all within that range at one point. Like Caruso obviously bounced around the league way before he went back to OKC via trade, but like they got Lou Dort undrafted. Wiggins was a 50 something, 55th overall pick, I think. Isaiah Joe was in that range. I think he was 57. Like Shulga, as No Ceiling so aptly puts it, there are so many players that are painted as 3 and D guys and they aren't really built up in one of those areas. He is supposedly supposed to be the real deal on both ends. And that can be a huge stepping stone for him being a part of Boston's rotation, especially considering the type of players that they're going to need to fill it out, like besides Tatum, beside Jalen, when those guys are both healthy, probably in the 26-27 season. Think of how successful somebody like, granted, he's got more to offer than just those 2 specific skills, but like Derek White has been able to be when he was on the Celtics. Even the things I just would ask Drew to do. Like Drew wasn't really asked to create much. He was an off-ball cutter mostly when he was here, and a catch-and-shoot guy in the corners, and then he would defend his ass off. Shulga definitely has a path to playing real minutes with the Celtics, and I think people should be paying attention to him at least like throughout Summer League. Whatever G League appearances will be interesting to monitor next year. There's no shout URI. There's no guarantee that he's going to be like this incredible player, but he has the path in front of him to do so, if that makes sense.
I get it. He's okay. He's like all right. He's a solid shooter. He's a hustle defender. My biggest thing, like, I need to clarify because we didn't mention it with Amari Williams either, and I think it's true for both of them. The likely scenario is that neither of these guys is ever a rotation piece for the Celtics. The most likely outcome, just like based on numbers of where they picked, it is likely that Hugo Gonzalez might not be anything crazy based on picking at 28. Like the history of picks at 47 and 57 is not. I don't even have to look to tell you what it is.
There's a reason why these picks
exactly. Happen. So Shulga's cool. He handles the ball pretty well. He's a good shooter, but he's not like incredible. Like he's not like Sam Hauser or Kobe Brea or anything crazy. He's a solid shooter. Did a lot of work off the dribble. He's a nice hustle defender. He moves his feet pretty well. I think in order for him to reach the level of rotation minutes at the NBA, he's just going to have to find a niche and stick with it and like really dive in. Like his shooting will have to improve to be really consistent to where you can't take him off the floor, or his defense will have to improve to be pestering enough to where, like, because like with all the guys that you mentioned, that's what happened. Like Alex Caruso became an all-world defender. Lou Dort became an all-world defender. Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins are 2 of the best shooters in the NBA. Max Shulga is,
and it took a while
right now. And it took a long time. Max Shulga is none of that right now. Could he be eventually? Absolutely, right? Any of these guys can. All of these guys are very talented basketball players, and obviously the Celtics are taking a stab in the dark. But I'm not going to sit here and say Max Shulga is going to play rotation minutes for the Celtics in the next, I don't even know. like it's just they have a solid rotation already, and you have to see what he can do. Again, like Amari Williams, like seeing these 2 guys in Maine will be very fun. Right. Theoretically, he'll get a 2-way contract and you'll see what they can do as a 1-2 punch, whatever, as the point guard / shooting guard, probably for Shulga, shooting guard and center in Maine. But with Amari Williams, you have the body and the wingspan and the passing that are all seemingly at NBA level to work with. Max Shulga doesn't necessarily have an NBA like ready trait right now. Right. Like you can't plop him in an NBA game and say, okay, at least he'll do this one thing. Right, because he's not that good of a shooter. He's not that good of a defender. Right. He'll like hustle his ass off. Don't get me wrong, but like Hugo Gonzalez is an NBA ready defender right now, an NBA level cutter right now. Amari Williams is probably an NBA level passer for a big man right now. He's a 7'6" wingspan. That's an NBA level wingspan right now. The measurables and the like niche NBA ready skills aren't really there for Shulga, but he is good enough at a lot of things and has the clearly like hustle and work ethic that the Celtics value enough to make it worth the stab. And so I get the pick. I like Shulga as a player. I like the outline of him as a player a lot, actually. He's going to have to improve. Obviously, he's a 57th overall pick at a certain thing in order to get to that jump.
He's also not young. He's a super senior coming into the draft. So I have some shooting context stuff, good and bad. Good is he's 91st percentile for spot up. He's 98th percentile for coming off a screen. He's 93rd
Where is this
percentile
from?
for
Is
catch
this
and
No
shoot from the
Ceilings
No
Guide?
Ceilings Draft Guide. Yes. Also from the No Ceilings Draft Guide. Shulga's shooting like hot zones, cold zone little map, right? His best area is from the top of the key. His coldest three-point area is the left wing, the right corner, and then the other corner. Probably would like him to be a better corner and wing shooter than he is to be an off-ball guy in the NBA, even though he has the credentials to be comfortable without the basketball. Like, those percentiles do show you that. Like, there's the room, there's the avenue for him to be comfortable as a role player. He has to improve, as Jack said, as a shooter. That's what you need from him, probably like baseline. I think the defensive motor's there. That's kind of what the whole billing is on him, is he's just a dog. And it sounds like they honestly drafted 3 dogs. Like, Brad is just open up his own dog pound.
Yeah, I mean, Shulga as a shooter, right? Like, first year Utah State, he didn't play much. 0.9 threes a game on 30%. Next year, 1.3 attempts a game, shot up to 45. And then he shot 4.3 at 36, but then he shot 5.6 at 41 at VCU, but then it went down to 38.7, not 5.3. Not bad. It's just like you can see the inconsistencies in the numbers of Max Shulga as a shooter. And with that went the 2-point percentage. It went from 38 to 57 to 49 to 50 to 49. Like, it's up and down, and he's going to have to find consistency in some niche to make it at the NBA. But I like the general idea of the 2 picks, like you said, 3 guys really with Hugo that hustle, that play the right way, that know how to play. And so we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see Amari Williams and Max Shulga in summer league and probably in Maine for the next season, and we'll go from there. But let us know what you guys think. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment. Let us know what you think of the Celtics second-round draft picks yesterday. We didn't really mention it in this video, but they did trade back and get 4 different seconds for the 32nd overall pick yesterday. So big brain trade from the front office, just kind of expanding their cabinet of second-rounders. But we're here every single day with new content, so subscribe. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps come out the morning after each game, and other videos are up in between like this one to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the 2 of us streaming live before games during the season. For pregame, it's usually a lot of fun. Come out for that. And we're on Spotify and Apple as well, with all pods and game recaps going up there for you, as well as anything breaking news that happens. We had a busy breaking news week with the 2 trades, with the draft, and so on. So be tapped in. Leave a 5-star review. Follow us there. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Jack and I will be recording later today as you hear this, so get them in. Tell us what you think of the prospects. You've had a little bit more time to go around on all the channels and see what all the film watchers or the dudes with microphones like me have to say about them. You can, again, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on. Taco.